Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I absolutely miss saying that from my days at P&G on all of our conference calls. So I'm excited to say that to you this morning. I am very excited to host this morning's enrichment series for the P&G Alumni Network. We have an amazing guest today that I think you're really going to enjoy, Franck Bacuet, who will be sharing his perspective and thoughts on the future of AI. So a very timely and worthwhile topic, and one that many of you have actually requested that we bring to the series. So I think it's a very timely one. I'm Ron Burridge. I am a P&G alum of 7 years. I spent most of my time in the beauty care organization, leading design for hair care, for skin care. I worked on Gillette and Old Spice and Secret, and I certainly reflect on my P&G days with a lot of love, a lot of learning, and I love that we keep this network alive and going. I've been at some really amazing companies, of course, Procter and Gamble being at the top of the list, but I can say this alumni network and the enrichment series and what we provide is really second to none. We are going to go ahead and get started. Let's see what's, there we go. So just to tell you a little bit about the enrichment series, this is a monthly series. Most of the time, we've had a couple of snafus here and there where we haven't been able to have a speaker attend, or we're in the middle of a holiday, etc. But this typically happens on the second Tuesday of every month. And our goal, our primary goal, really is to connect members around the globe, providing insight and leverage, of course, the expertise of our very broad and expansive Procter and Gamble network. We hope that today is engaging and insightful for you, and really leaves you inspired to go about your day, your week, your month, your year with some new insights and learning. To give you a little bit of a background, we are so much more than just an alumni network and offer different types of learning activities, but we're actually a nonprofit organization founded by P&Gers. We have over 35,000 members around the globe in 45 different chapters worldwide. We're actually recognized officially and supported by P&G. They attend many of our events. They bring guest speakers in for us, and they really support and highlight the work that we do as the Alumni Association and Network. And then, of course, connections and enrichment and philanthropy. So we love connecting talent and resources with each other in our communities and all of the efforts around the globe. We connect via global conferences, local chapters, industry events, and of course, online content like the one this morning. And our nonprofit foundation supports economic empowerment initiatives in communities around the world. We would love for you to join us, of course, in sessions like this, but in a live session, checking out a local chapter near you, or potentially joining us for one of our global conferences, which I'm very excited to share is coming up in 2025. Our global conference will take place June 13th to 14th. At the Grand Hyatt in Berlin. You can find more information and registration on our network alumni website, which is pgalums.com. And if you're registered and you've opted into email and receiving our newsletter, information will be forthcoming for you. So save the date. If you're not already registered, I highly, highly recommend that you do and invite you to do so at pgalums.com. So you get all the information and facts about this amazing conference. The content is going to be incredible. So without further ado, I am so excited to welcome Franck Bacuet to our discussion. He has had a distinguished career spanning over 3 decades in the CPG industry at Procter and Gamble, at GSK, across 5 countries, having spent 24 years as a P&G alum. I'm honored to have him join us this morning to share his expertise in business intelligence, in analytics and insights. He transitioned over to the vendor side from the corporate world several years ago, where he spearheaded a team of 400 top-tier AI and analytic professionals at Fractal. He'll share some of his experience on that. And their goal is to drive innovation and deliver strategic insights for Fortune 500 companies around Europe. So join me in welcoming Franck this morning, and I'm going to hand over the reins to him. Welcome, Franck.
Thank you very much, Ron. I'm going to ask the first question. Can you hear me well? You
I
can
can
hear
hear
me?
you great.
Okay,
I
good,
can
good,
hear
good.
you
Perfect.
great.
Sorry, I
Yes.
don't know. Very good. Great. Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Fantastic. Thank you for the P&G alumni for inviting me. Let me prepare a few slides for you. So let me share this with you and we'll get started. Yes. So the topic I was asked to present is quite broad. I think the theme was AI, analytics, and tech. So broad, dynamic, and it's not necessarily easy also to present to such a diverse audience. But from a geographical standpoint, we've seen it, but also in terms of experience, functional expertise. So I've tried to take all of this into account and hopefully share something that is relevant for everyone and not too technical. I've tried to keep it as concrete as possible. I have 30 35 minutes of presentation, and hopefully we'll have time at the end for questions. So before I even introduce myself, but Ron has done a great job, and tell you a bit about Fractal, really a bit. It's not about it's not a sales speech, but might be interested to know anyway what's my context. Let's start with a bit of Gen AI warm-up to show you some of the best-in-class work that is done in the industry. By definition, I'm going to share a lot of the work we are doing at Fractal, but we're part of an ecosystem. There are a lot of other great companies. So I'm just showcasing some of the recent solution we've delivered. The first one is a public solution. You can have access to it if you're interested, and it's a partnership with a renowned executive leadership coach. I guess people from the US will know Marshall Goldschmidt. Is also the author of a number of business bestseller books like Mojo or Triggers. And what we did for Marshall is to really allow him to be available for everyone 24/7. Of course, as a coach, you're available 10, 12, 14 hours a day, typically weekdays. So your ability to connect with a lot of people is limited. So we've tried to address this limitation by first building a corpus of knowledge. So everything we could access that Marshall has written, published, said in public forum conferences, we have consolidated, we have organized, again creating a corpus of knowledge, and we've added a Gen AI layer to really allow a very smooth human-like conversation with Marshall. Of course, for questions and conversation, is able to participate in around leadership and as a coach. So this is the only time in the presentation where I'll try to do a bit of manipulation. So that's the test. Let's see whether it works. And is it? Yes, it should work. So again, this is something that is available publicly. So that's something you can access to. That's the UI, the user interface. We are working on something else with an avatar. So you'll see a bit of a character who looks a lot like Marshall, but make sure he's not too human. That you're talking to a bot. And really based on this, you can start your conversation. There are a number of preset questions that we have really worked with Marshall. We consider them the FAQs. Make sure it gives a really perfect answer, but you can type any question. So when we tested the tool with Ron, we asked for example, how do you deal with an underperforming employee? So you would get this answer. And what is interesting, well, let's try with another question, or let me type the question.
And if anyone has a burning question for
Yeah,
Marshall that you want to put in the Q&A, we can
exactly. So
take
it takes a
a look.
few seconds, and you're getting the answer. And if you find it a bit dry, you can you can move to an audio version that should work. Where should be coming. No, it's
The audio is coming through a little bit weak, Franck, but
a bit
I
low.
think
Okay.
it's working. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, this is the tool. So this is something that is available publicly. Something we also develop for a lot of our clients. I'll share a different example in a more business context in a minute. So that's for Marshall. And now me. So, and in fact, you've said it all. So, yes, 30 years in the industry, 24 years at P&G in 5 market, fantastic experience. Then moved to GSK, world of OTC, CHC, and 3 years ago moved into the world of consulting, and moved to the vendor side. My latest role is at Fractal, which is one of the leading, advanced analytics AI, where I manage our CPG and retail practice for Europe. Interestingly, while at P&G and while at GSK, I had the pleasure and opportunity to work with Fractal. So I'm kind of closing the loop. So that's it
A
for
circle.
me. And the circle as well. Yes. Now about Fractal, again very quickly, but really FYI. So yes, AI advanced analytics is our core business. This is where the company started in 2000. So we're not a startup. We largely contributed as a company to create the advanced analytic industry and AI, and we were doing AI before it was called AI. We started with the two founders 24 years ago. Now we are 4,200 employees strong. We work only exclusively with Fortune 500 companies, so very large organization across industries. And within this, CPG and retail is our biggest, largest, fastest growing practice. So overall, we work with 150 plus Fortune 500 clients. I'll send you the slides. You can review the rest if you're interested. Zooming in on the CPG industry, which is where we all come from. I know many of you continue to work in this industry or partner with this industry. This is about 1/3 of our employee, mostly tech, IT expert, but also functional domain expertise, CPG consultants like me. We work with 40 plus CPG clients. Interestingly, and probably you won't be surprised, P&G is our single biggest P&G client. So for those who remember GBC in Geneva, where I'm based, I have the opportunity, the chance to visit that place regularly, which is always a pleasure. Very quickly, what differentiates Fractal from a lot of our competitors, and this is a pretty crowded space, is what we call our AEDD framework. So A obviously stands for AI analytics. That's where it started, our core expertise. But that we have complemented over the years with E, so engineering. Obviously, we understand, we master the back office, the technology behind the data, whether it's UI, cloud, you name it, and we're completely technology agnostic. And then the two Ds are really what differentiate us. So the first D is domain expertise. So we have also people really who come from the industry, are experts, are practitioners, and probably the most important one in this framework is D for design. So that's our consumer is boss version of it. For us, it's end user is boss. And we always start when you're building, developing, co-creating solution with our client. You start from the end user. That's why we have a large number of design thinking expert, behavioral science expert to drive change, to drive adoption for our solution. Really critical. And yeah, we start from the end users, and then we work backwards to the data, to the technology, not the other way around. Last slide on Fractal. I promise, really at a high level, this is what we do. I used to say, wherever there is data in a company like P&G on a large CPG Fortune 500, we have experience, we have solution. Again, we've been in this business for 24 years. So digital e-commerce, financial planning, what we call route to market, sales transformation, pricing, revenue management, also supply chain transformation, marketing analytics, you name it. We have large, extensive, experience and expertise. Voila, that's it for. That's it for Fractal. I'm going to move to a second use case. Again, I've tried to keep it as concrete as possible. This is also something that is public that we have really developed to showcase our capabilities as a company. And it's called Vedaya. So you have probably noticed in some of the slides that Fractal is an Indian-based, Indian-born company. So it started primarily with India in mind, but is available and relevant for everyone on the planet. And think about Vedaya as an health buddy. So it's kind of Dr. Google, but on steroids, and really helping you to understand your symptoms, to get information about potential causes, potential treatments, and really help you prepare for your upcoming meetings with your doctor, specialist, any kind of healthcare professional, and post that visit also make sure you have fully understood what you got as a diagnostic, as prescription, as a recommendation. We have tested this tool versus anything that exists from the GPT, Gemini. We beat those tools by a large margin. And if we were if Vedaya was a candidate to the postgraduate medical exam in India, which is one of the most demanding, competitive one on the planet, we would be in the top 1% of students. So a very strong, reliable tool that help patients all over the world. It's available 24/7. It's very intuitive. It's available in 17 languages. I've tried it. It's available in French, which works for me. Fully safe and secure, and also completely free. This is the landing page. If you're interested, you can use it. It's available for everyone. And this is really to showcase nowadays, what you can do with AI, with Gen AI, and really this ability to communicate using your own language, your own words, like interacting with a a bot, an IT solution, as if it was a human, and that's of course what GenAI can bring these days. Now we're going to move to the core of the presentation. And I'm sharing my thoughts on AI, starting from the recent craze over the last 2 3 years about AI, particularly Gen AI, linked to the boom, the rise of ChatGPT, and then we'll talk about where we are today in the short-term future. And again, I'll finish with my thoughts on what all of this means for us in terms of the future of work. Again, I've tried to make sure whatever I share today resonate, is relevant for everyone, wherever you are, whatever you do these days in life. So I've only one slide of definition, but make sure we are all on the same page. And there are probably many definitions. This is the one that works for me, that I use. So what is AI and Gen AI? It's really technologies that perform tasks that are traditionally carried out by humans, and typically using data for this. So really important. So technology that perform tasks traditionally managed by humans. So what is, and this is the beginning. You should know all of this. Of course, what we have seen so far is what I refer to as weak, narrow AI. This is really the very beginning. What we have done is specific tasks being executed faster, cheaper than if they were managed by human, but frankly, without much intelligence. That's really what we have been exposed to over the last few years, while there is a lot more coming, and it's a matter of a few years until really we will show the full potential of why AI algorithmic solutions are able to do. So you may have heard about concept like AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, or super intelligence, that truly envision human-like reasoning. So really performing like a human, but of course with far superior capability in terms of the data managed, the speed, the quality, the consistency of the thinking. So this is coming next, and on this journey from weak, narrow AI to this super AI or AGI. The first step is Gen AI, which is really what we're enjoying, living at the moment. And the two examples I've shared, Vedia or Marshall Goldschmidt, are two good examples of this, which is really this ability now that AI brings to interact between the machine and a human, using natural human language, and this ability to generate at scale, with speed and quality, text, images, and videos, or to create the data from data using Gen AI, generative models, and typically as a response to prompts. So this is really a journey. We are just at the beginning of the journey. We just see really the visible tip of the iceberg in terms of what AI is capable to deliver, in terms of what AI will actually deliver, because we know we can't stop progress and innovation. Although we'll see that in the next few slides, that we have to be careful with how we bring AI to life. So what we've experience over the last few years, and yeah, 2022, 2023, that again was very much connected with the boom around ChatGPT, was quite limited in terms of utility. A lot of user experience issues, hallucination. It was still relatively also limited in terms of the awareness, access. Very importantly, we add very quickly a lot of trust, privacy, concern, many that were and are still true. It was really organized in bits and pieces, not really connected. A lot of, yeah, of course, those were the beginnings. So garbage in, garbage out, a lot of content quality, and many questions outside world for as always with new technology around monetization and ROI. So that's what we have experienced over the last few years. You are very familiar with this one, the three dimension of faster, cheaper, better, and this first generation of Gen AI was fast. It was cheap, but frankly, it was not very good. Now we have moved to a new phase, and we'll see where we are today and what's coming next. But before this, and it's really another application connected to what I share about Marshall Goldschmidt that we have delivered for one of the big four accounting firm. And it's really about giving easy access and enabling employees from this company to make sense of the large complex and hard to find information related to compliance, HR policies, finance, and a few other business processes. So again, same thing, collated the organize this knowledge around your different parts of the business, different processes, added and train a Gen AI layer on top, and enable exactly what I showcased for Marshall Goldschmidt or Vedia, really employees to really ask their question in their own language with their own words, and get a curated, concise, relevant answer to their questions, saving a of employees from this function that were wasting a lot of their time always trying to find the information, and from employees themselves being really offered exactly what they wanted in a form that was digestible and understandable. This is one of the main application of AI, Gen AI these days. So we've talked about the recent past. Let's talk about the present and the future of AI. So and we focus on what is hot these days, which is generative AI. So Act 2, which is what we live today, we are observing massive progress. So yeah, I'll do a bit of a front to exercise, and what is being delivered these days is much more relevant. So we move from experiment to something a lot more focused. We started to think and focus on end users and their needs, their problems, to really drive adoption. We moved away from just playing with the technology. Also, we've talked about we looked at many use cases, many opportunities, and try to focus on those that would bring the highest efficiency, productivity gains, with the objective to drive also cost for those solution, and short-term time to market, T2M. So a lot of our clients have moved to really an integrated strategy where they they decide, really upfront what they want to own, what they want to build internally, and keep, tight, what they are happy to buy off the shelves to Fractal or some of our competitors, and areas where they are happy to partner and bring the best of both worlds. And those are, solution opportunities that exist on the market. Yes, we move from, again, narrow, quite, tight application to now thinking more around, ecosystem scale, around processes, but also, global scale, total company scale, which is becoming really critical. So it was not anymore around playing with, again, the technology, a few experiment with really transforming, part of, companies' entire processes with the objective to drive, speed and cost. And I'll move on. So, yes, and let me check time. I have to accelerate a bit. Yes, Gen AI really bring unique value. So now you've got something which still is faster, still is cheaper, but is now better. And it's very, difficult for your technology to bring all three. So how will AI really shape the world? And I think there is a consensus around this. It's gonna be part of, of our life, personal, professional, and every, product, service, process we use. So there will always be somewhere, now and in the future, a fundamental layer of intelligence of AI, again with this objective to drive a, cheaper, better, faster output, and really empower humans in their, life as well as in their career. And yes, whether we like it or not, and we will talk about this, AI will deliver, breakthrough productivity gains. And it's not the first time we go through some kind of a, technology, disruption in human history. But this one is broad. This one is big, and it's gonna, affect, impact all aspects of our life, of businesses and society overall. So yes, it presents massive opportunities, but also, challenges, productivity gains, personalized experience, but also, concerns about, jobs in the future. It's also a massive source of, innovation, efficiency, but we have to be careful on how we use, this technology. You are all aware. You've been exposed to, deep fakes and all kind of, misuse of AI technology. So that's something to keep in mind, not to mention the risk of, confidentiality and data breach. So I think, as always, with such, technological disruption, there are many pluses, but also, serious concern, and we need to, navigate this tension. That's not the first time, in our, recent history that we go through, technology disruption, and particularly around, automation. I was not born, but at the beginning of, last century, there were kids, putting back, pins on bowling alleys. There were people, switching on and off, lights in the streets. All of these, jobs, activities have disappeared. It has not necessarily had a massive impact on our world. Also, I don't remember. I was not there, but yeah, at the end of World War II, they were in New York City. Elevator operator strikes. Now all elevators are automatized. Nobody remembers there were, operators. And again, our small planet continues to turn. Still, and the future will tell us. But we have to also recognize that what's happening today with AI, Gen AI is faster and more broad scale, because yes, there were efficiency, productivity gains in the past, but they were typically limited to certain parts of society, certain industry. Here, as I said, it's everything, everyone, everywhere. So yeah, something to think about. And this particular technology, is different in the sense that it understands us. Again, it's human-like reasoning. It has the ability to learn by itself, to be trained, but also to it has now access to the entire knowledge of the world. Again, it was part of it in the past, specialized knowledge. Now everything we have created as humans is available for AI. And yes, it's learning really fast. It's very capable, much more capable than the average, even the very best human beings. So again, something to keep in mind. I'm not talking about Terminator type scenario. It's still grounded and down to earth. Still, I think yeah, something to keep in mind. You are all familiar with um, statistics of how many weeks it took for popular apps to reach their first 100 million users, and it took Spotify 5 years, so 200 plus weeks, and only 6 weeks for Chat GPT. So as I say, broader, faster than anything we've experienced. I'm gonna go really quickly here, but uh, again, I'll send you the material. You can have a look at some of the statistics, but they are in every single function for large organization, massive productivity, efficiency gains that AI, Gen AI will help materialize. So automation of repetitive, tedious tasks, all of it will be managed by AI very soon. And P&G, well known for marketing, and believe me, marketing will not be immune to this massive transformation. Every aspect of marketing will be transformed, is in the process of being transformed by AI, Gen AI. And again, there is much more coming, whether it is around content creation, advertising itself, social media, innovation, even my own expertise area of consumer insights. And despite the fact that it touches really the core of what humans think and how they behave, a lot of it moving forward will be managed by AI, Gen AI. And in fact, a good example is a solution we have recently delivered for a CPG giant to fully automatize innovation concept creation. So I'm sure many of you have spent long hours in ideation session in dark rooms with one-way mirrors, listening to consumers, and it will not completely disappear, fortunately. But a lot of it now, leveraging AI, Gen AI, can be replaced by solution that we and others deliver to generate innovation, new ideas, conceptual proposition, at scale in a minute. So delivering massive savings in terms of time, cost. And the same principle can be applied to claims, trends, pack shot, recipes, even actual copies. I'll move on quickly in terms of, okay, all of this is wonderful, or maybe not all of it, but how will all of this aspect us in a way, and the future of work. So we have this framework that we've worked on at Fractal, and I'll just share the center of it if you are interested by the last yellow external aspects. We can spend quality time together separately, but I'll focus on the top two, the more say critical, almost philosophical. So why will we work in the future in a world where AI, Gen AI will do a lot of what we do today better, faster, cheaper? Yeah, good question. So, well, we know already, after COVID and Fridays from home, that first there is not anymore a 5 days, week from the office. But there is also no, frankly, scientific basis for a 40 hours week. And if we look back at history, I can share the source and the statistic if you're interested. You see that the time we work as over the years has reduced quite considerably by 50%, and the big drops are associated with technology disruption, and there will be another one. So it is, and we see a lot of experiments from 35 hours in France to 4 days a week experiment in the UK, and I'm sure there are many more. There is a clear trend because AI, Gen AI, net will not create more job. On the contrary, probably, and it will drive efficiency, productivity for existing jobs. So most likely we're gonna work less, which is probably not bad overall, and really is very consistent with our development as a species. So as a human, we have all our basic physiological safety, love, esteem needs more or less met overall, and more the focus will be on self-actualization and helping all of us collectively, individually, to reach our full potential. And AI, Gen AI, by giving us back time, should help in that direction. So what will we do and not do? So here again, I'm sure you've seen this, but the type of activity jobs that will be most impacted by AI, Gen AI, and by what's coming next are repetitive and cognitive activities, as opposed to one-time physical. And interestingly, this is typically what most of us do. So the dark blue is for the most part us. And when I mean repetitive, is not that you do the 25 times a day the same thing, but yeah, activities that you do regularly, that are cognitive, leverage data. There is a good chance that again an AI Gen AI solution will do it better, faster, than us, very quickly. And I think it's really important to know this, anticipate this for us, and probably also for our kids. So when you look at the top and bottom 10 type of role that will be on the left side or will not be impacted by Gen AI, and it's not black and white. All jobs, all industry will be impacted, but some a lot more than others. So anything around data processing, anything around contracts, so insurance, bank, a lot of the government activities. A lot of this will be automatized, will be replaced by AI. On the other hand, a lot of jobs that are physical by nature, so leather, paper, mining, or really touch the human, so healthcare related jobs, social assistant, nursing, and so on, will be less. Again, it's not that they will be completely immune, but they will be less impacted by AI. So voila, that's I think what I wanted to share with you. I'll finish with one final use case, which is again a fractal tool. You know this, but we also use a Gen AI app to screen the 300,000 plus resume CV we receive annually. That is 100% automatized. And yeah, so, don't want to again bore you with the technology, but it's impossible to manage, or we need an army of HR people, and an app is able to do it quickly, in a total quality way, which is a good sign note. And as a final point, to inform you that we hire, the company Fractal continues to grow. We're gonna go through our first IPO this month, so feel free to apply. But remember, there is an AI app behind, so try to play around it. Thank you very much.
Franck, thank you so much. That was incredible. I just love the content. I've gone and played in some of the tools that you had shared when we had talked earlier. I think the Vidaya Healthcare is just amazing.
Thank you.
Incredible tool, very cool. So we do have a couple of questions from the audience, and this one is, I think, a really great one. I'll go ahead and read it for the team here. Someone asks, some demographics, job types are embracing Gen AI, so we have some early adopters, while others lag behind. Do you mostly deal with clients who want to accelerate the potential of early adopters or bring up to speed the slow movers? If slow movers, do you have any success drivers that you have observed?
Indeed, a good question. And myself, I've shown my age. At the beginning, being 57, I can relate to this one. No, I think again, with the clients we work with, typically we have seen a major shift in terms of the people we talk to, so different profile, younger, because yeah, technology is new, but most companies, while yeah, probably a younger generation of expert, lead those application, the design, develop, telling of those solutions. The idea is that everyone in the company, in companies, is expected to use and take advantage of those technology, of those solutions. So I think there is no expectation that all of us will become data scientists or engineers. That there is, and there will be space for many diverse profile. But I think in this context, self development, upskilling, and making sure you invest in yourself, train yourself, be able to have a conversation. Again, point is not to turn you into or us into data scientists or engineers, but be aware of what technology can bring, have a good even if it's superficial knowledge of those technology, and to be able to envision what this could mean for your company, for your function, for your role, and at the minimum be able to use, leverage everything that's coming your way. So upskilling, self development is more important than ever in this context.
Awesome. Great answer. Thank you, Franck. Several people have asked if the content from today will be available. So as a reminder, we do record the webinar. We'll edit it down, so we take out some of the things that aren't relevant anymore, and we will post that on the P&G alums YouTube page. So we'll definitely have this broadcast. And then, Franck, if you're willing to share your document today with us in a PDF form, we'd be happy to share that out as well.
With pleasure.
So just a couple of announcements before we go. Again, I wanted to thank everybody for your time and for joining us today. As a reminder, we've got a couple of really great events coming up. Let me share those with you. Hopefully you can see my page here. If you want to get involved with P&G alums, you can sign up for updates at pgalums.com. You could support the foundation at pgalumnifoundation.org. You can partner with us, sponsor at pgalums.com. And of course, you can volunteer, you can start or join a chapter locally. If there's not one near you, you can be an early adopter and get that going. Or if you have any thoughts on how we can make the Alum Association work harder, better, faster, let us know. We would love to hear from you. Do not forget, we have our YouTube channel where you can watch a recording of this broadcast, but then also past ones. So if you've missed, we have a great library of some really insightful conversations with people like Mark Pritchard and Phil Duncan from design, and so many others. Of course, I remember the design and marketing team, but we have some great ones. We do have an upcoming enrichment series that I'm very excited about, talking about women on nonprofit boards. That will be our next live webinar on October 8th at 9 a.m. And we'll be joined by Janet Butler and Terry List, as well as some other special guests who have recently confirmed. So definitely put that on your calendar and register and tell your alumni friends. If you want to just reach out with us, go ahead and say hello at P&G alums. And then lastly, you will receive a survey coming out of our conversation today. We'll ask you a little bit about the content, where you are, and what you'd like to see from the Alumni Network Enrichment Series moving forward. So again, I thank you so much for your time today. I've been Ron Burridge, your host. Franck, thank you so very much for joining us. And have a great morning, evening, afternoon, everybody. And we'll see you again in October. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Ron.
Bye-bye.